go through the questions. Question one, Cheryl. Who is eligible to make a statutory application for flexible working?
Well, it's quite a wide-ranging right, actually. It's going to apply to all employees who have at least 26 weeks continuous service, provided that that same employee hasn't made a request in the previous 12 months.
Okay, so that sounds pretty clear, but how must such applications be presented?
That's where it gets a little bit more complicated, of course. So when you're making a request under the statutory framework, there are very specific requirements which are set out in Section 80F of the Employment Rights Act. Those requirements cover both the type of the request and also the manner in which it must be made. So first of all, in order to be a flexible working request, it must be a request to change your terms and conditions in one of three ways. Either the hours that the employee is required to work, the times that the employee is required to work those hours, or where the employee works between their home and the employer's place of business. And that last one, it is actually that narrow. So it's not simply a case of where they work, because, for example, it would not be a flexible working application under the framework if they asked to work in another location, for example, a relative's home or one of these flexible sort of WeWork sort of sites that are popping up across city centres. In those situations, that's not going to be a statutory flexible working application. I stress statutory because, of course, there could be some internal procedures as well. And also, it needs to be in a very specific format. So it must be, first of all, in writing. It must state that it is a request for flexible working. Specify the change that the employee is looking to make. Give a date when they would like the change to happen. It also needs to explain what effect, if any, the employee thinks the change will make to their employer and how any such change could be dealt with. And finally, it must state whether a previous request has been made by the employee. And if so, it should also notify the employer as to when that was dated.